So, good evening, fellow NEA members. Good evening. On behalf of the officers and executive committee of the NEA, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome you to the 2014 ESP Conference. Yes, welcome. Education support professionals, ensuring student and school success. We, the members of the National Education Association of the United States, are the voice of education professionals. Our work is fundamental to this nation, and we accept the profound trust that has been placed in us. That is the preamble of the mission of the National Education Association. It is at once empowering and a little scary. It is motivating, just a wee bit stressful, profound trust. It's inspiring, it is challenging, and it is true. No pressure, my fellow NEA members, but the nation is looking to you to take your rightful place as educators leading the way in transforming our public schools so that every child has the kind of education they deserve. The community is looking to you as the professionals, those caring adults who can identify how best to create that kind of environment that is nurturing and safe, challenging, yet engaging, one that fosters good teaching and learning. And our children are depending on all of us to be their champions, fighting for their right to a quality school and a promising future. And it is this awe-inspiring responsibility that you will spend this weekend learning about and embracing. You will stretch, you will grow, you will network, you will explore. You will challenge yourselves, you will challenge others. You will change. This I know because of the hard work and dedication of the members of the planning team for this conference, led by the phenomenal executive committee member, Mari Kaufman. This incredible team spent countless hours developing a learning experience designed to transform your leadership in ways that will prepare you and position you to be those 21st activist leaders, taking your place at the forefront of our student-centered, association-led movement. Please give them another hand. Well-deserved. Thank you. No matter where you are right now in your leadership journey, we need you to reach greater heights. But this is what I know. I know that you are ready. As the NEA accelerates its work to identify and develop and implement strategies that will empower our ESP to elevate their careers and to lead their professions, you are building support for all educators to work together to meet the needs of all students. And that work will not only make a difference for kids, but it will promote the relevance and highlight the necessity of ESP professions. We know you're ready to engage your communities around the roles of ESP in school safety and health and wellness, meeting the needs of the whole child, providing wraparound services, and demonstrating the positive impact that education support professionals have on our students and on our schools. We know you are ready. Last year, the courageous, determined, and visionary delegates at our national convention passed a dues assessment to establish a great public schools fund devoted to lifting up our student-centered, association-led efforts. They knew that unless NEA members, our states, and our local affiliates accelerated our work, more of our students would be denied access and opportunities they need to lead productive and fulfilling lives. Many of our adventurous ESP locals stepped up to lead the way. You know, hope has been described as being more than the necessity of the probable. Hope is a belief in the plausibility of the possible. I think that's what the leaders of the Utah School Employees Association thought about when they decided to submit an application to receive a Great Public Schools Fund to support ESPs acting individually and collectively with outside partners to impact school safety, health, nutrition, and achievement for its students. USEA's Transformation Project to build a strong member-led association focused on supporting student success and serving members' needs was funded. So too were the anti-privatization campaigns in Pennsylvania and Arkansas, where their focus was on elevating ESP professions. These early pioneers serve as models of the plausibility of the possible. And then there's Jean Fay, a kindergarten paraprofessional and president of the Amherst Pelham Education Association in Massachusetts, who pursued, give her a hand, who pursued other grant and resource opportunities. Jean attended a Safe School Summit that brought together educators and elected officials, law enforcement and judicial staff, social and healthcare service providers, parents, and the entire community to consider how to ensure schools were safe, that they had healthy environments where students could learn and educators could work. And that was just the beginning of Jean's work. Because you see, she went on to spearhead efforts to access even more resources from NEA and from her state to help to fund participants not only to that summit, but she went on to take part and lead efforts in a follow-up training specifically designed to help ESP members. Not to be outdone, 3 paraprofessionals from the Old Bridge Education Association in New Jersey, that's right, Joyce, yeah, that's right, inspired by the NJEA and NEA training to get more active in the community, they used their learnings to mount an anti-privatization campaign that focused on demonstrating the importance of ESP in the success of their district students. Nancy Coughlin, Lisa Rifkin, and Barbara Newman organized a Welcome Back to School meeting, sponsored a book reader reception, a community education breakfast, and she even, Connie, had a Get Out the Vote event. That's right, educating members and others about why it was so important to have their voices heard at the ballot box. And of course, speaking of political action, you just saw the video of Edith. Wasn't she fabulous? Wasn't she fabulous? Give her a hand. That's not easy to testify before Congress, but she did it because she knew she had to play her part in trying to ensure that they passed the Fair Minimum Wage Act. Edith works full-time in the cafeteria at Lee Elementary in Florida and doesn't earn a living wage. That far too many of our ESP are living this reality is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Unacceptable. It is inexcusable that education support professionals work every day to make a difference in the lives of other people's children while their own live in a household that is struggling to make ends meet. That is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Edith's powerful and poignant testimony lifted up the voices of real families and real children who are suffering because their minimum wage is not a living wage. We will not stand still and allow that to happen, will we? No. I didn't think so. I could go on because there are so many examples of leaders who are working to elevate the ESP careers to further our goal of meeting our members' needs, not only around traditional union issues, and those are important, but also around their commitment to education, their professionalism, and the pivotal role they play in the school community. And if you believe that imitation is the highest form of flattery, well, I tell you what, NEA is flattered because we are so encouraged by states like Massachusetts and Oregon, who have, through NEA grants in their own state and local resources, actually established their own Leader for Tomorrow programs in their states. It's fabulous. Because this is what we need. We need more Stacey Yankos, who went through NEA's Leader for Tomorrow program and then went on to become one of only 3 county presidents in New Jersey, who has 21 counties, who is an ESP representing all job categories. We need more Stacey's, who has pledged, that's right, give her a hand. New Jersey, you're just all over it. Stacey has pledged to do what I can to inspire others. This is what she said: "We all matter, and I am playing my role." We also need more Frank Dees Green Jr.'s, another Leader for Tomorrow graduate who is only the 2nd ESP to be elected president of a wall-to-wall association in the great state of Missouri. But most especially, we need more of you. We need more of you. Every day we go into classrooms and work sites all over this country, knowing the significance of the work we do. You know, some days our heroic acts seem to go unnoticed. But when I was visiting schools in Wisconsin this fall and saw a 2nd grader run up and hug the para who was helping monitor the halls as students changed classes, I knew that impressionable child noticed. When I asked the student why he had given her such a big hug, his answer said it all. "She takes care of me. She takes care of me." You do that every day, and you do it because you see your students' humanity. You see who they are and what they mean to all of us. You validate their significance. You know, I thought about that. And I started thinking about you, my ESP colleagues, as I listened to the acceptance speech of Lupita Nyong'o that she gave after winning the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for her role in 12 Years a Slave. Lupita touched our hearts with her emotional words. "When I look down at this golden statue," she said, "may it remind me and every little child, no matter where you're from, your dreams are valid." Not only did her words reflect the emotion of her own personal journey, but they captured the essence of the emotional story of Solomon Northrop, a musician, a free man, who was captured and sold into slavery. His story painfully depicts disappointment and resiliency, cruelty and compassion, struggle and hope. As so many of our students and their families wrestle with the growing income inequality that is spreading throughout America, we must remind them every day that their dreams are valid, that we see them, that we care. That caring could be a hug or some tough love. It could be setting high expectations for them or making them do their homework. It could be protecting them from harm. It could be welcoming them into a safe and supportive environment. That caring could be giving them just a little more time on that test or to solve that problem or showering with them affection. Most especially, that caring could be fighting for their right to have what they need. I wish you all could know. I wish you could really know that you truly are everyday heroes. You may not be faced with the unthinkable, like School Secretary Antoinette Tuff, who talked down that gunman in Georgia, or Gail Keynes, an Indiana bus driver who safely delivered her student passengers home and then went back out on treacherous roads to help transport injured drivers after a 50-car pileup. Or Alabama's Chuck Poland, who made the ultimate sacrifice, trying to save the kids on his bus. You may never be called up to these extraordinary circumstances, but you step up every single day, helping students and parents and teachers and everyone. And because you are those everyday heroes, and you do heroics every single day, we will not rest until Congress passes legislation recognizing the critical role you play with the selection and celebration of an ESP of the Year. We will not rest. You are caring, dedicated professionals, true believers in our vision of a great public school for every student, who know we cannot be satisfied that some of our kids don't have what they need to achieve their fullest potential, that our children who need the most, they have the least. You understand that we cannot allow the students in our care to be subjected to the inadequate learning conditions or not have what they need to unleash their brilliance. You know that the work you do is more than a job. It's more than a career. It is your professional responsibility. What you do is a moral obligation. So no matter the job you have, your experience is valid. No matter the position you hold, your ideas and input, power and influence, they are all valid. And it is from that powerful place of validity that you must lead, that you must raise your voice, that you must elevate your activism. And you are ready. You will always have more to learn and experience, but you are ready. You will always have others like I did in my good friend and fierce advocate, Denise Hacker, who will guide and mentor you. Yes, but you are ready. You are ready. You will always have challenges and opportunities, but you are ready to play whatever role you must to fulfill the promise of public education. You know, we sometimes question the significance of our individual efforts when so much is at stake and we have so much work to do. But remember the story of the war horse that comes across a sparrow lying in the street with his tiny little legs sticking straight up in the air. The horse walks up to the bird and asks, "What on earth are you doing?" The sparrow replies, "I heard the sky was falling, and I wanted to help." The horse laughs a big, loud, sneering horse laugh and says, "Do you really think you are going to hold the sky back with those scrawny little legs?" In a tired but determined voice, the sparrow replies, "One does what one can." Whether you're just at the beginning of your leadership journey or nearing the end, one must do what one can. Our members are depending on us, and our students deserve nothing less. At our leadership summit, labor union strategist Rick Hurd challenged us when he told us that where we go from here doesn't depend on them. It depends on us. It depends on us. Now, whoever them is for you, whether it's those who systematically are trying to destroy public education or privatize your jobs or destroy our union, whether it's someone who's trying to diminish your worth, you cannot allow them power over you. You cannot allow any of them power over you. You need to continue your unyielding work, grounded in your unwavering hope and courage. That's what it will take to ensure that NEA survives and takes its rightful place at the forefront of this movement for equity and fairness, access and opportunity. And you are ready. 6 degrees of separation is a theory that everyone is no more than 6 steps away from any other person in the world. That a friend of a friend statement can be made to connect any two people. But I submit that with education support professionals, it is but 1 degree. Everyone knows an ESP who has impacted the life of a child. Everyone knows an ESP who has impacted their lives. Frederick Douglass reminds us that whatever you persistently allow to occupy your thoughts will magnify your life. I have no doubt that what will occupy not just your thoughts, but your time, will fuel your energy and your passion is our powerful mission to advocate for education professionals and unite not just our members, but this entire nation to fulfill the promise of public education for every single student in this country. Everyone. Education support professionals. Your life, it is, and it will be magnified. Thank you so very much for all you do.